What is going on, XRP Army? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are initiating a red alert protocol because the flip we have been waiting for has officially happened. I am not talking about flipping Ethereum in market cap, not yet. I am talking about the liquidity flip. As of this morning, February 12th, 2026, Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, has officially completed the full integration of RUSD, Ripple USD, directly on the XRP ledger. Deposits are live, withdrawals are opening. This is the moment the offshore liquidity dam breaks and floods into the XRP ecosystem. While retail investors are panicking because XRP is trading in the port 138, 142 2-year range, the smart money is looking at a completely different metric, the RLUSD market cap, which just smashed through 1.52 billion. The headline is XRP just flipped, and here is why. For the first time in history, we have a compliant US-backed stablecoin running natively on the XRPL with direct access to the world's deepest liquidity pools. Let's go deep into the Binance integration bombshell. Why does this matter? For years, if you wanted to move stablecoins into XRP, you had to use bridges or trade through USDT on Ethereum, paying massive gas fees. That friction is now gone. With Binance enabling direct RLUSD XRPL deposits, market makers can now arbitrage price differences instantly. This creates arb loops. When XRP is cheaper on Binance than on Coinbase, market makers will use RLUSD to buy XRP on Binance, move it to the ledger, and sell it elsewhere. Every single step of that process burns XRP as gas. This integration creates a perpetual bid for XRP utility. The flip is that XRP is no longer just a speculative asset. It is now the settlement rail as for the world's largest exchange's stablecoin operations. We need to aggressively analyze the higher price versus value divergence. I know the chart looks ugly to the untrained eye. XRP has retraced from the January highs of 240 down to the 138 support level. But look at the RLUSD market cap. In January, RLUSD was at $72 million. Today, it is at $152 billion. Oh, that is a 2,000% increase in on-chain liquidity in 6 weeks. Yet the price of XRP is down. This is a mathematical anomaly. It is a coiled spring. The market has not yet priced in the fact that $1.5 billion in stablecoins are now legally parking on the XRP ledger, requiring XRP for every transfer, every trade, and every trust line. The flip will happen when the price catches up to the utility. We are seeing a massive divergence where price goes down, but fundamental network value goes vertical. This is exactly what Amazon stock did before the dot-com recovery. Furthermore, let's look at the DIRI zero fee promotion. Binance has introduced zero trading fees for selected RLUSD pairs. This is a strategic move to drain liquidity from USDT and force it into RLUSD. By incentivizing traders to use RLUSD, Binance is effectively subsidizing the adoption of the XRP ledger. This is user acquisition at a massive scale, paid for by Binance, benefiting Ripple. The volume on these pairs is already spiking. In the first 6 hours of trading, RLUSD volume on Binance hit in the 300 million nights. This is not retail buying coffee, this is institutional rebalancing. Finally, we have to address the bear trap narrative. With the price hovering at 138, we are seeing massive short interest building up. Traders are betting that the Binance news is a sell the news event. They are wrong. This isn't a news event, it's an infrastructure event. News fades in 24 hours. Infrastructure lasts forever. By shorting here, they are providing the future fuel for a short squeeze. When the RLUSD volume fully kicks in and the burn rate accelerates, these shorts will be forced to cover, driving the price back to 2.0 zeros in a violent God candle. Now, let's pivot to the US side of the equation because while Binance is handling the offshore liquidity, a massive shift just happened onshore with the Federal Reserve. This is the US announcement that nobody is connecting to XRP, but it changes everything. The Federal Reserve has just announced that effective immediately in 2026, the Fed now service transaction limit has been increased to 10 million, up from 500K. Why does this matter for Ripple? Because Ripple's new RG Treasury integration is designed specifically to handle these high-value commercial flows. The increase to $10 million moves Fed now from a retail P2P system to a corporate B2B system. And who provides the bridge for those B2B payments when they need to cross borders? XRP. Let's break down the FedNow Ripple nexus. Critics say FedNow kills XRP. They are wrong. FedNow is a domestic messaging system. It only works inside the US. It cannot settle a payment to London or Tokyo. This is where Ripple's acquisition of the Rail and G Treasury comes into play. The new architecture allows a US corporation to send $10 million instantly via FedNow to a crypto-friendly bank, which then auto-converts to XRP, moves across the XRP ledger, and settles in Europe. The FedNow limit increase essentially widens the pipe for money to flow into the Ripple ecosystem. Before, the pipe was small, 500K. Now it is massive, 10 meters. This allows Fortune 500 companies to use this stack for real treasury operations. We also need to talk about the ESO 2022 deadline. The Federal Reserve has confirmed the final ESO 2022 migration for Fedwire is set for mid-2026. Ripple has been ISO 2022 compliant for years. This makes XRP the native language of the new US banking system. While legacy banks are scrambling to update their COBOL mainframes from the 1970s, Ripple is ready today. This compliance advantage is why we are seeing rumors of that DXC technology, which runs banking software for 300 unmanaged accounts, engaging with Ripple. They need a plug-and-play solution for ISO 2022 cross-border settlement. Ripple is that solution. Furthermore, let's look at the jump trading entry. Reports are surfacing that Jump Trading, one of the world's most sophisticated high-frequency trading firms, is backing prediction markets and increasing its crypto exposure. Why is this relevant? Because Jump Trading is a market maker. They need efficient collateral. With RLUSD now live on Binance and compliant in New York, it becomes the perfect collateral asset for high-frequency trading. If Jump Trading starts using the XRP ledger for settlement, the transaction throughput TPS will skyrocket. We are moving from slow B2B to high-speed algo volume. Let's address the regulatory clarity dividend. In 2026, the US regulatory fog has lifted. The SEC is no longer the boogeyman. This allows US institutions to openly engage with Ripple without fear of a subpoena. We are seeing this with the top 21 shares, ETF chart filings, and the grayscale East conversions. The US shift is that XRP is now treated as a commodity, just like oil or gold. And just like oil, it is needed to run the engine of the global economy. The price suppression we see at 138 is the market's last attempt to deny this reality before the floodgates of institutional capital open. Finally, we have to touch on the Huihui stablecoin wars. Tether USDT is under immense pressure from US regulators. Circle USDC is trying to IPO. Ralust is positioning itself as the Goldilocks option, compliant enough for the government, but fast enough for the degens. By capturing the middle ground, Ripple can absorb liquidity from both sides. The FedNow limit increase is the green light for US banks to start using these compliant stablecoins for actual business. In this final segment, we are bringing it all together. We have the Binance integration, opening the offshore floodgates. We have the FedNow 10 millimeters limit and opening the onshore floodgates. We have Ralust hitting a $152 billion market cap. So what is next? The roadmap to Tate Taws is no longer a fantasy. It is a mathematical probability based on the velocity of money equation. Standard Chartered has reiterated their 8.00 target for 2026. And looking at the infrastructure going live today, their model looks conservative. Let's analyze the tight supply shock mechanics. With the ETFs accumulating $137 billion in XRP, and RLUSD locking up millions in AMM pools, and corporate treasuries preparing to use the $10 million FedNow rails, the free float of XRP is vanishing. We are seeing exchange reserves on Coinbase hit multi-year lows. This means there is very little XRP left for sale. When the demand from these new integrations hits the order book, there will be no sellers at 140. The price will have to gap up to 250, then 380, just to find liquidity. This is the God candle setup. What is your exit strategy? You need to be disciplined. My strategy remains the third's rule. 1. Sell 1.3 at all-time highs, 3.84. This secures your initial investment and profit. 2. Sell 1.3 at the cycle target, 7.00, 8.00. This is the wealth generation exit. 3. Hold 1 to 3 for the legacy play 2030 plus. This is for the potential of XRP becoming a global reserve asset. Do not panic sell at 138. This is the accumulation zone for the smart money. They are buying your fear. We also need to issue a massive on-security warning. With the Binance integration, scammers are flooding social media with RLUSD airdrop links. There is no airdrop. Do not click links. Do not connect your wallet. Ripple will never ask for your seed phrase. Secure your bags with a Ledger or Trezor. The only way to lose now is to get scammed or to sell too early. Let's talk about at least the next 30 days. Watch the RLUSD market cap. If it crosses $2 billion, we are in the exponential phase. Watch the Binance volume. If RLUSD pairs flip USDT pairs in volume, the game is over. The flip has started. The US announcement has cleared the runway. The jet is fueled. The bottom line is this. The integration of Binance and the expansion of FedNow limits are the two most bullish fundamental events we have seen since the lawsuit victory. The price is lagging, but the infrastructure is leading. In crypto, price always catches up to infrastructure. The rubber band is stretched to the breaking point. Get ready for the snap. Thank you so much for watching this massive deep dive. If this analysis helped you understand the Binance RLUSD flip, please destroy that like button. It helps us wake up the retail investors. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next update when we break 2 bar zero. Stay strong, stay safe, and I will see you on the moon. Peace.